Welcome back to another MobileSentrix tips and tricks. My name is Derek, and today we're going to be looking at an Apple Watch SE 2nd Gen. This watch has definitely seen better days. I believe that it got ran over by a car, so it may or may not be fixable. The only way to find out is to try it. The back's broke, the display is completely trashed, maybe the logic board is still intact. Either way, I've been meaning to do a teardown of this watch. So even if it isn't fixable, it'll at least serve as a teardown video. So let's get started. This display is obviously not working anymore, given the impact. So I'm not as careful as it would be if it were still good. I have seen them break this much and still have a working display, but this one is beyond working. To help remove the flex cable, I'm going to add some 99% isopropyl alcohol, and we'll let the alcohol do its thing and break up that bond the adhesive has on the back of the display, so I'm not tugging on the cables too much. It's not a lot of solder that attaches these flexes to the motherboard, so you can't just tug on it without taking care of it. I'm gonna get under the sticker here, just slice right through it. Then we'll pop the latches on each connector, and then we'll gently pull out the cables like that. And it's no wonder the display isn't working. That is really bad. See, the battery's all wrinkled. Now, given that this back is broken and the frame is dented, normally I would just replace the back, but in this case I'm going to replace the entire frame in the back so we can get this looking like new. So I'm not going to worry about the gasket here. I'm just going to remove it so we can stop dealing with all of the shards of glass that are on the border. I'm just going to get under the gasket and pull up on it. That way I can get all the shards up at once. To start this off, I'm going to add some isopropyl alcohol down under the battery, and then we'll put a little bit of tension on the battery by gently prying under it, and we'll wait for the alcohol to help lift the battery outside of the frame. Alright, once it's popped out, I'm going to go down in here with a tri-wing screwdriver, and we're going to unscrew the screw with the bracket, the battery. We'll pop the battery connector and set it aside. Now let's work on removing the Taptic engine. There are 3 screws holding it down. This silver one with this little bracket, this gold one down here in the corner, this one here in this corner. We'll disconnect this tiny connector, one of the coax connectors, and then we'll pop off the Taptic engine. We'll pop off the coax cable on its connector. Now let's take out the speaker. There are 3 screws holding this down, 2 on this side and 1 here on the right. We'll gently pop up the connector there and then pry out the speaker. That. We'll flip it around to the other side, and behind this black sticker here we'll find 3 more screws, 2 on this side next to the crown, and then 1 recessed back in the corner. And this can come off. Disconnect the connector there. The little sticker here we're going to peel up in the corner, and then we'll take out the 4 screws that are holding down the edges of the motherboard. And out comes the bracket with that one, and then we're going to take off these 2 screws that hold down the grounder for the flex cables and carefully pop them up. Now we can slowly lift up the logic board We need to slide it out from under the flex cable for the crown. The bracket fell down in there. And let's disconnect from the bottom. Look at those chunks missing. And here we've got a new frame that we can have a brand new looking watch. And if you wanted to know how to just replace only the back, then you'd have to basically look at this. But you've got to make sure you don't lose the 4 springs here on the buttons. You've got a rubber gasket that goes around the perimeter. And one slight difference you'll notice between the two models is these extra little antennas. This back is compatible for this, but this one would not be compatible for this one unless you transfer over that. And this inner dot there, the silver dot, is soldered to that little gold dot there. So if you do need to transfer that, it is soldered. So let's take our new back and we'll gently set in our buttons. And we've got to take the teeny tiny springs and put them back inside their little slots. Without dropping that one, we'll put the other set in and line up the springs just like that. And we'll make sure that this is in the correct orientation, and we'll gently set this down and on top. And then we'll push it down, get it nice and seated in there. And then you kind of have to hold on to it because we still have to put in the corner screws with the motherboard to get it to stay. So we'll take our motherboard and we'll connect the connector, and we need to angle this and get it under the crown flex. We'll take our bracket, slide it down in there, and then we'll put the screws down inside. And these 4 screws are what gives the back its water resistance. We'll put the other bracket in and we'll line it up and we'll screw it on down. Then we can take the pressure off the back and it should be nice and solid. Alright, now that we have that secured, let's put back the speaker. We'll line it up and compress it in. Grab the corresponding screws and we'll put them back. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Go ahead and connect it. We'll go and connect the coax cable. Alright, we'll flip it around and we'll connect up the 2 cables over here for the power button and the crown. Let's not forget the 2 screws for the grounding sticker here. We'll put back the bracket for the microphone with its screw on the bottom. Then we can put back the bracket to cover everything up back there. And then the teeny tiny little hidden screw that goes back in the corner, just like that. Alright, we're getting close to the finish. We're just going to slide in the Taptic engine. We'll put back the 3 screws that hold it down. We'll connect the coax cable and then connect the Taptic engine connector. Put back the little bracket and then screw in the screw. Now, given how wrinkled this battery is, I'm going to use the replacement. I'll go ahead and connect up the battery, and then we'll put back the bracket and the screw just like that, and put the battery back down in. Get a new screen, and let's test it, make sure it works. And you want to make sure that none of this black sticker ends up sliding into the connector. It'll prevent the corresponding function from working. Gently push in all 3 flexes. Then we'll pull down the flap. Hit the power button and test it out. Probably dead. Let's grab a charger and see if that works. There we go. Put it on charger.
we go. Unfortunately, it isn't fixable, but at least now you know how to do a teardown on an Apple Watch SE 2nd Gen and what to look out for, depending on whether or not it's a cellular or not, for example. Leave a comment below if there's something you'd like to see in a future video. Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you in the next video.